And just like that, we got another character that buffs Mavuika. Yay. Yeah, we all know it's gonna happen, but basically Varesa is seeming to be just an overload DPS. Simply put, she's an overload DPS. So all you people who think you're gonna get use out of Sinyun with her, you may get use out of her, but don't expect it to be her best team. Basically, my thoughts on what her best team is going to look like is probably Mavuika, Bennett, and then Chevy, basically. Yeah, Chevy will just slide in there and be like, yo, what's up? And basically, Sinyun will be useless on that team. Sadly, I do wish that it wasn't the case, but Sinyun most likely is not going to be useful for the new plunge character, which you would hope that she would be really good with, Varesa, but it doesn't really seem like it's the case. And we'll see. I mean, you do get 40% Rice Shred plus the plunge damage, so it's possible that Chevy isn't the character that you use, right? It is possible you don't use Chevy, but even in their promo material, they were showing off overload teams because Mavuika is right here, and she is here to get buffed every single update in every single way possible, right? Varesa seems to be a character who's just going to buff you. Iansan, they didn't really talk much about her. She kind of just seems like a mini plunge version of Varesa, which it's whatever, I really do wish they would reveal more about the character's kits, because I feel like Iansan, it's just weird how they're like, oh yeah, she does plunges too. That's literally all they did with Iansan. Maybe I'm misremembering, but man, they didn't give her a lot. So that is that, and then we also have more artifact sets coming out, which honestly, if I'm being entirely honest, I wish they just didn't do that anymore. I don't like farming new artifacts, and I can guarantee that one of the new artifacts is gonna be for Varesa, so basically all that means is like, hey, you're not gonna build the character till like 3 months down the line. That's literally all that means. You have to basically be in that domain. I feel like you never really get to have a character that you really like, fully built, ready for everything. Also, this probably means that Cinder City is no longer going to get characters that are specific, like, buffers with it, right? They probably will not be using Cinder City. It's possible, I could be wrong, but I mean, I doubt that they're going to be releasing any more, support characters that want to use this set. They're probably going to be releasing support characters if they do release support characters, because, I mean, to be honest, the fact that we still do not get any more support characters is crazy. We have just gotten main DPS after main DPS every single update at this point. And it's just like, can we get at least a couple support characters? Bruh. But most likely, all that means is people are going to stop farming Obsidian, and we're going to have a new artifact domain to farm. We're going to farm that one, and then a new artifact domain is going to come out. It's great. It's a great loop of the game, and I love having artifact farming be the entire gameplay, on top of having, obviously, talents and weapons and all that other stuff. I love that being our entire loop of gameplay. They are upgrading the, sanctifying elixir, which is a lot better for artifacts, honestly. So, if you miss a artifact on one character, because, like, I'm gonna rant a little bit. Like, why do we have to, like, continuously be in, like, this loop of, like, oh, new character released, now you need to farm that artifact set. Why can't it just be farm whatever artifact set you want? It's constantly, you only get enough time to farm a decent set. Like, my Mavuika is pretty crazy. Like, she's top 1% still. It's not like she's insane. It's not like my Sea Lolly's insane. My Sea Lolly still has unleveled artifacts on her. I don't have a good goblet for her. Granted, this set has been out since 1.0. I probably should have a good artifact for it. But hey, it's still very, but it's still annoying. And I wish that they would change it. But yeah, I just wish that artifacts were a little easier to get, like, a decent set of, because I'm still missing, like, I would love to, actually have an Emily build, but I don't have an Emily build because, it was basically that set came out, I farmed for Arlecchino, I got really unlucky on the one set, and it basically screwed me out of having a good Emily build the entire time. I just do not have a decent Emily build on Revere. She's basically a Deepwood. That's literally it. She has Deepwood set, and that's it. She has an okay set, right? She has an okay set on Revere, but it by no means is good for her. Like, this is her Revere set. If she's holding, I guess, Missive Windspear, I guess, sure. But other than that, honestly, there wasn't much else I should really talk about. I mean, we have events and stuff that are coming, not really a big thing. Oh yeah, we do have the other reruns, Venti and Shilonen, which is crazy. Honestly, I didn't expect Shilonen to get a rerun before Kenichi and Mulani. I'm assuming what they want. Like, maybe Shieldon's not a part of this patch. Maybe she's not. But then again, I think Shieldon is kind of a friend of the character. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure Shieldon might be a friend of Iansan or something. I don't know. Maybe she'll be lore relevant, and that's why they're bringing up her rerun. Or they could possibly bringing up the rerun because of Mavuika basically needing her to function, kind of, if you don't have Sea Lolly, which I guess a lot of people do. So they want to have people be satisfied with their Archon, which makes sense. I mean, and a lot of people, just to talk about this, a lot of people think that, oh, they're just gonna do it on the next region. I don't think they're doing it on the next region. I think Night Soul was a gimmick that they were doing. If you hated Night Soul before Mavuika released, you just didn't like durations. Yeah, that's literally all Night Soul was. It was just a duration in a different format, and saying differently, you know, it allowed them to be more interactive with it, I would say. It's not like Kanich is like, oh man, he has Night Soul. Mulaney, though, you could argue that, oh, you know, because she has to move around a lot and, you know, you accidentally press right click, you could destroy her entire rotation, right? You can argue that with Mulaney. I understand that. But hey, that's just a Mulaney fault. I wouldn't say that's necessarily. It's like Tartaglia, man. Like, you want us to be like, oh, like, I hate Tartaglia, but, you know, that's just my opinion on it. Like, you can't just hate Night Soul in general because of the way that it works. It's basically just a duration if you play the character right. Yeah, and then we also, you know, and then we obviously got Mavuika, which I understand if you don't like Night Soul because of Mavuika, but if you hated it before, you just hated durations and you had no reason to actually hate the thing, right? If I'm being entirely honest. Like, to hate it over, oh, you press right click and, you know, your character's screwed. I'm gonna be honest, you gotta be accidentally pressing right click a lot, and I press right click a decent amount when I'm using like Chaska or something and I destroy my you know, duration. But that's a you issue, right? There's a certain level of I don't know how it's said, skill, I don't know. There's a certain issue that you might want to see your doctor about there. But what we do have is also a Venti rerun, which I do not recommend anybody to summon for. This guy is like the most useless Archon I've ever had. Like, legitimatately, I still use Raiden in some teams, right? I'll still use Raiden because I'm like, all right, hey, I want to use Raiden today. Venti's not that character. He's not that guy. It legitimately, oh, wow, he shut down one stage of the 6-stage Abyss. Let's go! He is useful in Imaginarium Theater. But other than that, like, I don't, like, this guy, honestly, you know, he matches with characters that, you know, he pulls up enemies so high sometimes in Imaginarium Theater that he's like, I don't want to use this character because I'm using Hu Tao and then I pull up all the enemies with Venti, right? And it basically screws me out of getting any hits on to the characters, right? Match the chicken nuggets energy today and you will get a cookie. Put it in the comments, put the emoji in the comments. But yeah, overall, I would have to say this update is looking cool, but it's looking painful because we have to farm for new characters. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you did enjoy. If you really enjoyed, feel free to become a member. We are going to have emotes soon, so we'll see how those look, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.